Hello? Y'all hear me out there? How's my audio? All right. Almost there. Thanks for the feedback, everyone. Comments, sounds good. Okay, good. It's always the biggest problem is sound, it seems sometimes for me. All right. All right. All right. I got a question already in the queue. All right. This sounds good. All right. Let me get started here. Get a sip of my beer. And I'll be ready to go. Okay, I hope that worked okay. Oh, I see myself. I think it's broadcasting all right. So, start things off here. This is not a planned event. I just was at home after out at a wine tasting this afternoon. Finally felt a little bit better about everything. Usually weekdays are kind of a bummer. I work all day and my mind is mush at the end of it each day. But getting out of the house, going out for a while, coming back, kind of got me a little bit more in the mood to be social. So I thought I'd go ahead and do a stream. Didn't have any list of topics or anything down. Actually, this is kind of unusual for me. I try to be prepared for things, but I was realizing also today that I did not do a single live stream in the whole month of March. Right? I tried to say I wanted to do these somewhat on a regular basis, whatever that means, every couple of weeks or so. I'd imagined, but March got away from me. April is about to get away from me, which is why I decided to hurry up and get the stream in tonight, because April and May are always my busiest times of the year. I got my wife's birthday, two kids' birthdays, Easter weekend, because we do church Thursday, Friday, and Sunday on Easter weekend. And then we also have May, Mother's Day. My wife's birthday is in May. My kids were in April and May. And with like other invites to other parties, graduations, sometimes a rare wedding, right? Spring cleaning, getting my yard prepped from this cold winter to get the lawn growing, right? I got to dethatch and put the weed and feed down and rake up all the crap out there and get my garden started. I could go on on and on. So April and May are really busy for me. So I had to squeeze this in now to at least think I got a live stream in within about 5 weeks from my last one. So I didn't have anything written down, just in a totally impromptu thing. So thanks for joining on short notice. If you have any topics you want to actually go down the road on, go ahead and put them down there in the comments section. I don't think we're going to get a big crowd tonight because I didn't announce this in advance by more than a half hour, probably, right? Actually, let me take this off. I keep hearing it echo in my ears, and it's not necessary no more now that I know the sound is working. So, so where was I at? The sound was distracting me. So anyway, choose a topic, put it in the comments, ask questions, like usual. If you want to get my attention before anyone else, or if I'm not seeing your comment, because for some reason we get a lot of people in here. If you want to be seen or heard, don't forget about those super chats that are available down at the very bottom. You can hit that little $ box there, that's there, and somehow contribute a few bucks or whatever you want to get my attention, and that will help. Okay, so before I go into some questions, I guess some thoughts on my mind out loud were some updates. I got a question here about my Kegerator. Current events is that my Kegerator is dead because a circuit board failed and there's no replacement parts. And what I mean by replacement parts, I don't mean just the official circuit board that you can buy off the distributor's website. I'm talking about the parts on the board are not even available in the United States. I can't. I mean, this whole supply chain China thing is just like getting way out of control already. At least I'm seeing its impacts to that effect. But for those of you who don't know the backstory to this, is that about a couple of weeks ago, we had a power surge or some kind of thing in our house that fried my home router. Actually fried a network cable. I never thought a network cable could fry, which it did. I had to throw it away. I had to buy a new router, which cost a few $100 because I like good quality routers. I had some other gadgets I found out over the next several days burn out. And also eventually, right as I was filming or just got done filming that last video I posted about cleaning my keg lines with a recirculation pump and stuff, I was about to plug it back in and it wouldn't start up. And after doing some rule of thumbing, trying to look at the symptoms, the fan intermittently starting to jerk but not actually spinning, the display flashing for the temperature, I realized it was probably a power supply problem, because that's generally what happens with a computer. I've had many of those failures in the past with power supplies, and after doing some research, it turns out that those Kegland Series 4 Kegerators have a common issue with a failing power supply on that motherboard, which probably was on its last life, and that power surge probably just put it over the edge. And it turns out that it's a known issue. The power supply is only 5 watts, I guess, and the Series X Kegerator from Kegland is 10 watts, and they say that the Series X board is compatible with Series 4 and is actually the recommended upgrade for the Series 4, since they don't make the Series 4 board anymore. So get the Series X. Well, either way, there's no Series 4s, no Series X's boards out there anywhere, at least not in the US. So my fridge is dead behind my bar, and I had 10 gallons of pale ale that I brewed in that K-Rims video I did a couple weeks ago, right? And that beer is now right here next to me in my original Kegerator from my old videos. If you go back and see my single tower, they got a single tower on both, but the single tap or faucet Kegerator, I actually converted that into a fermentation chamber, right? In that fermentation chamber, I did a video on that a couple months ago, I guess. And that's so I had to go back and take the wiring back out of the Kegerator, get a regulator tank, and I had to wire it back up again. And I took the heating pad out and all that stuff. So now it's back into a regular fridge again. So I got 2 5-gallon corny kegs under pressure right now, carbonating for the past several days. It's not quite ready to drink yet, so I'm drinking a Guinness Stout in the meantime. It's pretty good, but it's not completely carbonated. And so I'm waiting for that to finish carbonating maybe by this weekend. So that's the status and update of what's been going on with my last few videos now, I guess. They kind of all cross paths, right? The fermentamberator video with the fermentation chamber, then the K-Rims video to make the beer that is now fermenting, which is now in the old Kegerator that got converted back into a Kegerator, all because of a power outage on my Kegland Series 4, because it's a known issue. So PSA, public service announcement, guys, beware of where you get your products from, because if you're ever going to need replacement parts, which you never know if you do or not, right? But more often than not, stuff made in China tends to need replacement parts, right? So I should have, I think I knew Kegland stuff was made in China, and basically most Kegerators now are basically made in China, as far as I can tell. At least the ones that are targeted towards home brewers, right? So I think we're all in that same boat. But I will be wiser going forward. I will not be so quick to buy something from watching a YouTube video that someone else was promoting about their Kegerators, Kegeland, and it's all right. It's all right. And it's no knock against Australians, man. Don't get me wrong. I love Australia and its products. In fact, I just got another microphone for my YouTube channel, a Rode brand dual lavalier mic set that I'm going to be using on my live streams and some of my videos going forward to improve my audio quality. I'm all for products made in Australia. So don't get me wrong. I'm just going on about Chinese made stuff now because I've been burned by it here again. So, so anyway, let's take a look at some of the questions here. I see some people commenting down there. I got a question about Chad. Chad's not on tonight. Chad didn't even know I was doing this, right? Just like I was saying before, this is not a, what's wrong with the chat's not refreshing. Just hold on, guys. It's showing some old stuff here. I think I need to go copy my current URL, go into OBS here, go into my YouTube chat section. Yeah, this is all background crap, fellas, so don't worry about it too much here. Let's see if that works now. Did it not work at all now, did it? There's no chat at all. I don't see a chat. No, let me try this one more time. Let me try this one more time. Participants, okay, chat, pop out chat. I have to copy the URL apparently, and I am going to go edit that again, paste the new URL in, which did look a little different than the last. Okay, so maybe that was the problem. There it goes, finally. Okay, so now you guys should be seeing the live chat come up. There it goes. All right. My apologies. Apparently, I must have stopped the stream earlier by accident when I was setting things up. And each time I start a new stream, it creates a new URL that I need to go back and replace in my OBS to get the chat to show up. It's all technical crap, right? But that's the kind of stuff I deal with. So let me look at some questions here. So now, as a result of this problem, though, I've lost some of your comments for some damn reason. So there was a question about Chad coming. Chad's not on. That's what I was going to say. But I missed a few of your comments. The first several comments are probably already off my screen, and they're not showing up on my pop-out screen for some reason here. So I have to wonder why that is. Maybe I can go back to the YouTube version of this. Oh yeah, okay. So I'll back up here. So there's a question from Sailor Mouth. It says, what are some of my favorite beer styles and beer styles that I don't think I will ever brew? I've talked about this a number of times in every live stream, which is fine. I'll rehash it here, but it's my favorite beer styles kind of change over time, and they change by season. I'm kind of one of those seasonal guys who likes to brew beer for the season that I'm in. Here in the upper Midwest, in Chicagoland, we have all 4 seasons that go to the extremes, right? Hot, humid summers, cold, frigid winters. So the winter times, I prefer the darker beers, right? The maltier beers, the higher ABV beers. Summertime, the very opposite. Light, clear, crystal clear beers. I like lagers. And spring times, I prefer like wheat beers, Hefeweizens, Weiss beers, and even for the summer too. Fall, I tend to go towards the brown ales, amber ales, pale ales, IPAs, those kind of things. So I go around the horn a little bit. But over time, things I will never brew. Well, if you go to that beer judge certification program list of beer styles, there's a bunch of them there I know I never will brew, but I don't know what those are right now. But some of them I've gotten away from that I used to brew were like Belgian triples, doubles, those kind of things. I used to really be into that whole, like, if you could think of like a Chimay Blue Label. I used to love that beer. Now it's like, I think my taste has changed. I'm kind of going back. I went from like just beer to like hoppy bitter beers back to like non-malty beers or malty beers to like balanced beers. So no, I'm kind of like on the balanced beer kick. I don't want anything that's way over the top, hoppy, puckery, bitter. I don't want anything that's too malty. My current goal right now at this time of my life is to make a great all-around balanced beer that anyone can drink and enjoy. And once I hit that, I may open a brew pub. Just kidding. I don't have any motivation to open a brew pub in this state of Illinois. Not until I move someplace, maybe. Right. So there you go. Some comments from Limited D. Okay. Oh yeah, it's all off the screen already. I probably should just scroll down. If you guys didn't get my answers that you're looking for, just post them again. It's like going off screen here. I'm slowing down. Heather Thiessen, thank you very much for logging on. G60 guy. Yeah, you guys have old refrigerators. See, that's the thing. My old kegerator is analog, and it was on the same house circuit that got zapped by everything else that caused a power surge, and it's still ticking because it's an analog dial thermostat. It's not digital, right? So there's no circuit boards in this thing, really. So there's something to be said for old school equipment, right, guys? I mean, all this stuff about technology and cloud computing and Bluetooth connections and all this fancy stuff that everyone's getting into, which is all cool to some degree from the technology perspective, but from practice and practicality perspective, maybe not, right? When things like this happen and you can't get spare parts, your very expensive technology gadget is now just a pet rock or a pet boulder in the case of my kegerator, right? Let's see what we got here. Let's see. Converted new fridge to hold 19. Yeah, very good. Got a hello from Brian Sandrock from Ohio. Brian Doherty asking a question. What other hobbies do you have outside of brewing? I used to have a lot of hobbies when I was younger, and brewing was actually there to fill the gap because I quit doing a lot of my other hobbies, right? Because I had young kids at the time, and I needed a hobby that could be done at home. It didn't require going to the bars or going out on road trips and stuff. So I kind of got into home brewing partially because of that. Or I got more into home brewing because of that, really. But my other hobbies, I used to have a whole bunch. Nowadays, it's just basically, I like to cook, but even then, that's starting to have a hard time to find time for. Even brewing's hard too. I consider this YouTube video editing stuff kind of an interesting hobby now. All right, I watch way more videos on proper video and audio editing now on YouTube than I watch actual home brewing or cooking videos. I mean, by a margin. I mean, I'm just really I'm fascinated with like compositing and audio engineering and the psychology of video production and film production. It's actually really cool. I kind of wonder if I had had this kind of technology at my fingertips when I was younger, looking for a career path, maybe I may have done this. But back in the late 80s, this kind of stuff didn't exist. You wanted to do video editing, you were splicing film reels, or using $100,000 Unix workstation systems somewhere, right, to do graphics and things. It was a whole different world back then. I'm kind of in the firearms, or I used to be, until COVID came and all the riots started coming around, and everyone started buying guns that didn't own guns before, and therefore drove up the the demand curve for like ammo, and therefore I could even buy ammo for the past 2 years up until recently, right? And everyone knows that's super expensive still today. So I kind of put that hobby back on the shelf for the past couple of years too. So I don't have is it back? I think I dropped the connection again. I think I'm back, right? Yep. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. Something's been going on. I bought this new $300 router, and it keeps dropping the internet connection at random every so often, every hour, a couple hours. All of a sudden, it's like, oh, no internet, and then it's back on again. And I haven't had the time to sit around and dick around to figure out why the thing's cutting out on me. It's probably some optimization settings somewhere, some driver I need to download from my laptop, maybe. Who knows? I'll figure it out. But I should be back on screen now. Got a question here. Oh, got what's up from Salvation Brewing? Hey, how you doing, Chris Englehart? Nice. Oh, he's talking about an English IPA and some other beers he brewed. Very good. Gazer, I suppose is how you pronounce that. Yeah, tastes do change with age. And brown ale is always a good beer. That's right, Ed. Yeah, that's a very good beer. I should brew it more often. That's actually one of my favorite commercial styles was Newcastle. I guess they changed the recipe. Someone had told me sometime recently, but I haven't actually ordered a Newcastle at a restaurant in years. I just make my own brown ale, and I like it better. So I stick with that. In fact, that's something I've been noticing. Right, I go to like beer festivals in the area. Sometimes, you know, they'll have like 30 vendors, local breweries, brew pubs, whatever, that will have their little tents. You spend the 30 or 40 or $50 for the tickets for the samples, and you go around and you get all your samples, and guys are wearing pretzels and around their necks on a necklace so they can, you know, clean their palates in between each sip and stuff. Right. But you go to these things or just go to most local brew pubs. I always find myself walking out of there disappointed, you know, that it's like the beer wasn't that good. The beer wasn't that good. Or in fact, some beers are just outright terrible. Some of these brew pubs shouldn't even be in business, in my opinion, but they are, and they're making money. So it's like, you know, maybe I should make crappy beer and charge a lot for it too. But I would do that kind of stuff as a hobby if it was, but that's where I get torn. I want to go out and try stuff, try new things, but more often than not, I get let down and I say I should just stay at home and had a home brew. Let's see what we got here. Any tips for lambic pitching? Well, I've never done a true lambic, Heather. I've only, I've kind of mimicked them basically by using yeast that will sour and other little things to basically quick lambics, if there's a thing. I don't know, quick sour, quick tartness, whatever. But no, I've never done a full lambic. I've always wanted to, because I always found lambics to be one of my favorite beer styles that I do want to brew someday once I have the time, patience to let it go naturally like it's supposed to. That's one thing I was into wine a lot the past decade. I used to be actually, and I did just bottle a wine kit I did recently too. But usually I haven't been doing much wine either, because it's like the patience. I just want to sit there for 6 months waiting to open a bottle, or a year or 3. It's like, I just open them and start drinking them way before. So, okay. So did you guys lose me, or is that an old comment? It's an old comment. Okay, sorry. Thanks for letting me know. So going down the list, got the Matchmaker Challenge saying hello. Hey, how's it going there, man? I think you're in Wisconsin, if I'm not mistaken, right? I think I saw you said that somewhere. If you are, let me know. Confirm that so I know. I was just curious. I've been up to Wisconsin a couple times. Actually, only one time for a collaboration with the with Mike and Paul from Homebrewing TV channel. You know, they've been here for some videos too. I don't know, maybe there's a chance for a cross-channel on-site collab at some point if that's the case. But if I'm wrong, just correct me. Severe Wong, do you still make starter yeast these days? Well, I haven't, because I haven't been using liquid yeast. I've actually, the past couple of years, I've entirely used dry yeast. I can't remember. The last time I used a liquid yeast was probably the Munich lager I did back in the fall of 2020. I did a couple different liquid strains, if I remember right. I could be wrong. It could be more recent than that, but that's the last time I remember using a liquid strain. I just been putting dry, because the dry yeast is also, it's like half the price often. You don't need to make a starter with it ever. It lasts way longer than a liquid starter will. And so I keep it like a small inventory of some just general ones in my fridge in case I have a sudden urge to want to brew and I have enough ingredients. I don't have to go out and just get yeast. I already have some yeast I can use. So the last time I made a starter was a while back, and again, I only do that for like the liquid starters, and only really if I'm making a medium to higher gravity beer, or if the packet's more than maybe a month and a half old, which is actually quite common. I've seen almost 3-month-old packets, which is probably the end of their expiration dates if you're buying like the Y yeast ones. Yeah. Let's see what we got here. Hard handy, a Belgian of some hard cider handy. Oh, cider handy. I'm sorry, Jesse Russell. He said, yeah, I do keep a hard cider handy. Yeah, I also was doing hard ciders for a while. I do that sometimes in the spring and summer, like a pear apple ciders. I do too once in a while. But I really like these kits that have these pears and cherry ciders in them. You know, you basically just you basically add water and like yeast to this concentrate. This brand I buy, I think it's from the UK actually, at my local homebrew shop. I don't remember what it's called. I did a couple of videos on that brand in the past. If you want to look up my channel, I have never actually done a crushed apple, pear, or whatever cider yet. I did buy a small press a couple of years ago, but that was after the harvest season of 2020, and then 2021. I missed the boat on that one. I think I was doing wine instead at the time. Yeah. Let's see here. Let's see what I got here is I'm glad to hear Ed says, I'm glad to hear that, Larry, and I think the same about other beers at times. Chris says he lives in Illinois, but at the other end. Yeah, you're downstate down here. Yeah, I'm in the northern end. You're down. I forgot which town. I don't even know which town you're actually in. But yeah, I do remember you were downstate there somewhere. Milwaukee Mashmaker Challenge. Hey, well, maybe we ought to do a cross-channel collab sometime, maybe this summer. I can't do that in the April or May timeframe, like I mentioned earlier. That's my busiest time. And I'll probably have some kind of vacation planned sometime during the summer. But if it all works out, June, July, or August, probably, or even September, we can probably try to do something like that, right? Maybe do a cross-channel thing. And Heather says she's in Madison. So hey, yeah, maybe we should do a Wisconsin meets Illinois YouTube collaboration video or series or something. West Bend G60 guy. Yeah, West Bend. Is that what larger city is that near? That sounds familiar. Oh, Heather says hi neighbors, so that must mean you're near around Madison. Okay, well, that's cool. I used to. I used to. I used to, but I didn't because of COVID. But I used to go up to Wisconsin to the New Glarus brewery there, and I would pick up a bunch of their fruit lambics, and I would lay in an inventory here at home that would last me 6 months before I have to go back and buy more. But I haven't been back there in at least a couple of years now. But yeah, for sure. Okay, question from Sailor Mouth again. How long did it take me to make a good beer? And also, what is the most experimental brew I've ever made? Well, how long did it take me to make a good beer? Well, it's kind of a wild card because I thought the beer I made was good because I made it. You know, it's kind of hard to separate your bias because it's something you made versus impartial. Trying to be impartial is hard, right? So, but if I remember back, I mean, the first beer I made was awesome, but I'm also made it with a neighbor who was a home brewer who was helping me brew it, right? So I was following his guide. It was all extract. I brewed extract for like 7 or 8 years probably before I got into all grain. And I always thought those beers were great. But when I got to all grain and went from bottling to kegging and made some other adjustments in my processes over the years, which for me, it took that long because I did extract the same way over and over again for like several years. So it took me a while to make great beer, but I think I made good beer from the get-go. I thought, but so I think we all think that, right? The most experimental beer I ever brewed, I can't discuss without risk of being kicked off YouTube. So just let your minds wander there and fill in the blanks. But I've made some beers recently, in past couple of years, which I've never brewed before in my life, and they were interesting. I must say. Can't disclose much more about that. If you look back through some of my old comments, some of my old videos, you might find a link to a recipe on my website that's not posted publicly, but it's there if you know the link about a recipe that you can brew that does not use traditional brewing ingredients. Let's say that. Waterloo, Monroe County. Oh yeah, let's see. Okay, that's down Monroe County. Oh yeah, okay, yep, that's pretty far. Do I prep my dry yeast at all? From about 33. Do I prep my yeast at all? Dry yeast? No, they say not to, actually. Well, the packet says to rehydrate them in a little bit of sterilized water. I guess you can do that if you want to boost your count a little bit, but they also say, at least Fermentus, I think it is, just says, hey, just dump it in. It'll be fine. As long as you're not brewing super high gravity beer, if you have enough packets to pitch, like I'll do one 11-gram packet per 5-gallon batch. It's kind of my rule of thumb. Unless I'm doing like a really high gravity beer like that Bourbon County Stout I did back in November, then I used 2 packets, I think it was. So that's my idea, but I don't generally prep it. Yeah, Smash Maker. Yeah, so all for that. Excellent. Well, cheers. We'll have to get in touch. Try to shake things up this summer, man. I mean, it does kind of get tiring after 10 years of doing basically the same kind of stuff on YouTube. You kind of want to kind of like, grow is a natural yearning, right? Okay. All right. It's coming back, I think. Okay. It's coming back. See, my router, man, my router. I'm actually hardwired into my router. It's not the Wi-Fi signal. It is officially my router doing this. So I got to go figure out what's causing it, which is going to take some time away from me doing my other hobbies. Life is tough, isn't it? First world problems. My router's got bugs. Jeez, imagine what's going on over in like overseas there in Eastern Europe, man. I mean, all the death and destruction currently going on there, and ongoing wars in Africa and elsewhere, of course, too. I mean, we're kind of spoiled here with our inflation problem, and our router problems, and our I can't find a spare part problem, and you know, it's all perspective, man. Take a big picture view of life, I guess. When things get tough and you get irritated, step back, take a deep breath, and see where you're really at on the big grand scope of things, and realize that, yeah, your current situation sucks, but it could be so much worse. It could be, right? All right. Zach Pearson says he thinks all his beers suck, but I actually make good beer and have won awards. Oh, well, see, yeah, I'm super hard on myself with all my beers. Me too, man. I mean, people tell me they like my beer, and I think they're lying to me because I'm super critical. I'm thinking, no, there's a flaw there somewhere. You don't like it. You're just being polite. Right? This is how it is. It's like nature. It's like, no, come on. You can't really like that, can you? But actually, it's fine. It's good. It just makes you work harder. It makes you want to reach that next level, work ever harder, right? Let's see here. Have I tried the dry Lutra? No, I have not. The dirtiest cousin of hops. Let's see, hello, so I see, EHC beers are the shit. Love them. Well, you might want to look up some of my old links, or send me in IM. I'll forward you a few recipes that I know about. Not saying that I brew them. I'm just saying I know about them. Let's see. You can't access recipes. Oh, Cinema says that you can't access recipes earlier than August 2021. All right, here, hold on a minute. Let's go take a look here, shall we? So if I punch open my spreadsheet. Oh, come on, spreadsheet. Let's go. Oh, not spreadsheet. Website. Hold on a minute. Web browser. This one. Here we go. So now if I go to my website, BEER-N-BBQ by Larry. Oh, yeah. I'm trying a new theme here, and I'm not digging it, but I think what we got to do. Oh, it's missing. Oh, it's over. Is it over here? No. Hold on a minute. Oh, there it is. See, something's flaky's going on. If you pick on a site, see, there should be information on the right side here. That's not being shown, but I think if I picked about or any of these links here, yeah, I got to fix the site. But then you can come over here to the search website thing, scroll down to archives, and you can go all the way back to May of 2012. So there's that, right? But also all these videos are also on my YouTube channel. So if you're on my YouTube channel, all you got to do is also go back to, here, hold on a minute. Let's go check things out here. So if you go back to my YouTube channel, I have all kinds of content. I have stuff going back hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos ago. So all the same videos are also on my YouTube channel too. Let's see here. So let me go back to the live stream. So yeah, I got to fix that website. That's another thing that's been nagging me. It was working great, and then something glitched, or some plugin got upgraded automatically, and it screwed up my website. So I've been trying to fix it off and on between everything else that I got to do every day. And that's actually not even anywhere in the top 20 list of things that I got to do on any given time. So it's always like down the list of priorities, but I'll get to it. Yeah. Snowhole, greetings from sunny Scotland. Was that a little sarcasm? I assume, because I've never been to Scotland, but I hear it's quite rainy. Is that a stereotype, or is that more true than not? Chad's here. Hey Chad, how's it going, man? Larry Mixed Designs Great Beer. Thank you very much, Chad. That's my brother there. Just give me some props. Hooah. Very much. Thanks, Chad, for joining. Yeah, Chad, people were asking about you early in the feed and wondering if you're going to be on. And I said, this is just an impromptu stream. I didn't plan on doing this. A Mesh Maker Challenge, $10. Here's $10 in gas to come up onto Milwaukee. I'll take you around to a bunch of great breweries. That sounds like a plan. Let's plan to do that sometime on a Saturday, maybe sometime, again, maybe June-ish time frame, or maybe July-ish. You know, that's awesome. That's a great idea. And thanks for the $10, by the way. German Plumber says, have any new lager recipes you like lately? Well, I haven't brewed a lager, I think, since last summer. And that corn beer, which was, my corn lager, that video, if you remember, the American corn lager, that was just basically Miller High Life kind of beer. Really good, but much better homebrew made. I'm definitely going to keep that in my back pocket. But this spring or summer, I'm going to get around to brewing a rice beer, more like a PBR or a Budweiser style. See how that goes. Why? Why not? Because I can make it better than the original. That's my tagline. That's my new tagline. Yeah, I just came up with that. Anyway, just kidding. Well, I did come up with that just now, by the way. So going back to Matchmaker, $10, man. That'll probably give me to the state line nowadays with current gas prices. I'll see how it goes. Snowholt says he never brews the same beer twice unless he really likes it. Tomorrow Brewing is a grapefruit IPA for the 5th time, so it must be really like it. Yeah. So that's what I did for a long time. I was brewing probably the same half dozen or so, roughly, same recipes repeatedly over and over again, tweaking them, getting them better, and to the point where I was confident with them, or I was just getting bored making them and started branching out to other recipes. But I'm not going to brew every beer style out there. I mean, those guys at brewdudes.com, John and Mike, they have this thing called I think it was called the Jar of Destiny that they're doing right now on their channel. And they just posted their latest one a day or so ago, where they are talking about, and actually I forgot which beer style they picked now. But at least I remember they posted something. But they're going through that all 52 categories or whatever it is, and they're drawing these tokens out with the numbers on them, and that's the next beer that they brew. So they're forcing themselves to go through the whole gauntlet of beer styles. Me, nope. I want just beer that tastes good, that I can share with people who I think will like it, that I can drink 10 gallons of and not get tired of at the same time. And that's my goal at this moment. My taste will change. Maybe my interest will change tomorrow, next year, whatever. But that's where I'm at now. So yeah, hello from Saskatchewan, from Sean Ogilvy, right? I'm sorry. My screen, my laptop is like so big. Unfortunately, it's not like a big monitor. And then the font I picked apparently just threw me off. So my apologies there. But hello, Sean. Chad says he's just hanging out at home after work. We just don't have any beer. Oh, well, Chad, you're welcome to try to join the call. If you want to join in. I don't know if Skype running, but we can try it. But yeah, I got 10 gallons of beer. So Chad's going to come over next weekend for Easter, and my beer should be done. So if he brings the growler I loaned him, The last time I gave him beer to take home, I'll send him home with that growler and the other one he has. He'll have a gallon or two of beer to bring home with him afterwards. So got a thanks from Jason Saniak. I'm sorry, man. I'm bad at pronunciations. Obviously, I'm sure it's easy to pronounce. First time I've seen that. I want to thank you for your wonderful Dragon's Milk clone. I am enjoying it right now, and it's off the chain, fantastic beer. And that was, in fact, I am brewing that beer exactly the same way again the next time I brew it, with only, well, 2 for sure tweaks, maybe a third one. The first one is I wanted to add a little bit more bourbon, I think. 2 is I should probably age it a little bit longer, because even after I kegged it, I noticed it did have a bit more complexity and mellowness after about a month and a half or 2, right before it kicked, because it's all gone. So maybe I'll be more patient with it. And something I want to introduce that I didn't do the first time around was maybe some vanilla bean, or maybe some maple syrup, maybe a little bit more of that complexity in it. It won't be Dragon's Milk, of course, anymore, right? The recipe, but I'm not really after Dragon's Milk. That's sort of like my commercial example of the style of beer I enjoy from a commercial level. But as a home brewer, why can't we make something better, right? So I'm going to be on a quest to improve that recipe. But I'm glad you like that. Yeah, awesome. And it was off the chain, fantastic beer. It was. I got a comment here from Mike. Larry, he says, I know you're an engineer. I enjoy watching and learning. What type of engineer are you? My degree is, well, I worked as a mechanical engineer, but college I graduated in what's called the general engineering curriculum down at U of I, Urbana-Champaign, and that was probably the top curriculum in the country for it, which is why I went that route instead of mechanical, because it allowed me to tailor my curriculum exactly the way I wanted it without having to take a bunch of extra, whatever, say more electrical or thermal classes than I wanted. I could do some structural engineering and some mechanical engineering and some control systems engineering and some engineering law. And I got a well-rounded education. But I worked and practiced as a mechanical engineer, as a professional mechanical engineer for the past 20 years. The past 10 or so, more so on the IT side, supporting business processes and product lifecycle management tools for companies. But with the engineering background, it really helps with that. Let's see a question here. Want to try your hand at cloning my other obsession, Founder's Backwoods Bastard? I don't think I've even had that, but if you want to send me the recipe, just reach out to me there on social media or my email on my website. I can get back to you. Yeah, sure. Why not, right? I mean, I'll take a look. Let's see. Ham's clone. Yeah, Ham's clone. Ham's is something I joked about brewing. Old style, or old stool as I used to call it. But they old style, they did their recipe. They actually redid their beer recipe about a dozen years ago. And since they did that, the beer is actually pretty good. I actually don't mind a good cold old style nowadays. Let's see. Rausch beer. I've never done a Rausch beer. The Brew Dude's latest brew is California Common. Okay, yeah, California Common. That's like the steam ale, the Anchor Steam, right? The steam beers, they call those, right? Call them California Commons now. So it's basically, what is it? Is it a lager recipe fermented with? No, it's a lager fermented at warmer temperatures, I think, right? Yeah, I can't remember the details anymore. All I know is that the Anchor Steam was good. Let's see. Got a nice comment from Just Brewing. Hey, Larry, I've been lurking for a little, enjoying the stream from the homebrew legend. Who's that? Isn't that what CH called me one time on one of his streams or something? I'm not a legend, guys. I'm just, look, I've only been, I've been doing this for probably longer than most of you who have channels, but there's people who've been doing it longer than me, even yet, right? And most of them have actually quit and stopped doing it over the years, unfortunately. But there's people before me who got me into it kind of too. So you just kind of pay it forward, and those who are getting started now will take over once I quit doing it, and others, I mean, right? I mean, eventually I'm going to stop doing this at some point, right? So that's cool, man. I mean, it's good that we got this little thing rolling, right? This snowball effect of getting more brew tubers online, right? That's cool. It's cool. What's a good lawnmower beer by Salvation Brewing? I did a lemon peel ginger brew, pretty refreshing. I did a lemon coriander beer one time. I can't. That was so long ago. I don't even remember. I think I might have dumped it because I think it got tainted from the coriander tainting it in the dry hop stage or something. I think I had beer gushing. I think that's right. Yeah. So that was So I don't even drank that. I've never done a ginger beer before. It sounds pretty cool. But for like lawnmower beers, I like to do. Something, well, obviously what a lawnmower beer is, right? Something that you can crush fast, right? Just quench that thirst. And lagers, of course, Hefeweizen, Weiss beers, blonde ales. I like making blonde ales. I used to make blonde ales all the time prior to getting into lagering because blonde ales was about the lightest thing I can brew without pressure fermentation or refrigeration, both of which I didn't have up until the past few years, right? So I was doing a lot of that blonde ale stuff. I have a number of recipes I think out there on that now with different types of hops each time and things. It was actually quite an interesting experience to brew a lot of blonde ales. Chad says he'll find my growler. Good job, Chad. Thanks, man. It's no big deal. It was only like $5 or something for that growler. I think I don't even know what they cost nowadays. Geez, with inflation and all. Some questions here. So is it Juice or Just? I think it's Just, right? Just Brewing. Pay it forward in your honor, Larry. Cheers. Salute to that, man. Pay it forward. I like the video you and CH did on your road trip down to North Carolina with those guys from Clawhammer. That was pretty fun to watch that video. Kind of remind me of the road trips I've done. I know, and I've only done a few, but that's quite a road trip. I mean, that's a long trip for me from here to North Carolina. I've been trying to get together with Brian at Short Circuited for the past 2 years, actually for more than the past 2 years. And 3 times we tried to attempt to get together, and 3 times we had to abort like the week off for different reasons each time, out of our control, of course, and it sucks. So I should reach out to him again. We're supposed to reschedule that for the next few months, but I think he might be busy working. I think he said at work, like I am all the time, which is why I don't do as many YouTube videos as I would like to do or used to do. Let's see some comments here. I like Centennial. I like Centennial hops. In fact, I have like a pound of it in my freezer just so I always have it on hand. Like Bell's Two Hearted is a great example. Founder of Centennial Ale is okay, but I still prefer Bell's Two Hearted over that. There was another one that used Centennial. Three Floyd's Alpha King, although it uses like 3 hops. I think it uses Warrior hops, Centennial, and something else. But you really taste the Centennial hops in that beer. If you've never had Three Floyd's Alpha King, it's their flagship beer. It's what they've been known for decades. If you've never had it, it's from like Northwest Indiana. If you're in the area, let's see. Oh, Justice for Justin. Okay, that's kind of, yeah, I didn't know if you were playing on the word Justin or saying Just Brewing, kind of like just without the T. So that's cool. All right, Justin, cool. Nice to know that. It's easy for everyone to remember my name because my name's on my page, my title, right there, right here on the screen here. So, so it's hard to not know my name, but it's hard for me to remember everyone else's all the time. Old Style is quite popular in Milwaukee. Mashmaker says PBR, don't want to spend a bunch of money on craft beers. Exactly. Good cold PBR never fails me. I completely 110% agree. I mean, it's like as long as it's super cold, right? Because I'll buy a 6-pack of that and I'll go play disc golf, and I'll have a 6-pack of it in my backpack for like 2 or 3 hours out there in the sun. It warms up and it's not good. It's just not good. So, but when I go to the bar and I order some hot wings or something, I'll order like the largest PBR. It's like just a wash down the hot sauce, just eat them hot wings and wash them down. And that's a great pairing. I mean, that's my thought, but old style would be just as good, I think, in that case. Yeah. So, so thanks for all the comments. I don't think I have anything else on the feed here. Let me see. Let me scroll down here. I didn't have any agenda to talk about tonight. Nothing in particular. Just wanted to touch base with those of you who joined. Thanks for joining, y'all. I'll definitely stick around a bit longer. I was only going to do this for about an hour or so or less was my target. So it's only been about 30. Well, it's been about an hour actually, because I think I started early. Yeah, I started at 7:45. So officially I have about 10 minutes left. I could wrap it up now. Post some comments down below. It looks like they are posting some comments now. Okay, great. Well, don't want to hold you guys any longer than necessary. I just wanted to give you a quick update on what was going on behind the scenes here early on, answer some of your questions, to sort of touch base with y'all and see how things were going. Matchmaker, reach out to me, or if I can find you somehow, that'd be cool. And other than that, everyone, thanks for joining. I'm still sipping my Guinness. That's another thing that I've had a sinus infection for the past 2 weeks or a week and a half. I've been kind of laying low. So it's probably the first day I've actually felt better, which is another reason why I felt good about doing this. So awesome. Again, thanks for joining, guys. Thanks for all the nice comments. Question about, have I heard anything from Brian Short Circuited? Well, I haven't, not in a few weeks or month or more, but he's been busy at work from those last set of communique I've had with him. He's kind of tied down on his job on some project, I think he said. So I don't blame him. I'm that way a lot too. I was going to reach out to him soon to check in on our road trip plans again, our rescheduled road trip. So I'll probably reach out to him soon again and see how he's doing. But I don't blame him for being, away from the channel, because I have to do that too sometimes. So that's all I know. I'll find out more. So anyone, thanks again for all the compliments. I will talk to you all, guys, when I can next. All right. See y'all. Oop, just twice, I guess. Click and click.